Alors, bonsoir et bienvenue à un autre épisode de Vintage Kids. On va dire bonjour aux chiens. Hein? Ah, bonsoir. Ah, ben oui. She's never far. Elle est jamais vraiment bien loin. Excuse, là, je vais essayer de placer la caméra. Hein, parce que là, on s'amuse à faire des invités spéciaux. Là, on essaie de rendre ça intéressant. T'sais. Pas que c'est pas intéressant tout le temps, là, mais des fois, peut-être moins. Non, mais ça se peut, là. Ça peut pas toujours être super bon, là. Puis même des fois, juste un peu, là. Il faut que ça soit un minimum de genre. T'sais. Alors, bonsoir et comme je vous ai dit, bienvenue à un autre épisode de Vintage Kids. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Vintage Kids. This week, we are doing a part 2 of last week subject. On va continuer avec la partie numéro 2 de ce que nous avons commencé à discuter la semaine dernière. La semaine dernière, nous avons parlé des various toy lines. So last week, we talked about the various toy lines. And we were talking more of like what I actually collect, what are my interests, personal interests, because some people are always saying, what, you don't have some E-Men stuff? What, you don't have G.I. Joes? What, you don't have whatever? Donc, il y a tout le temps du monde qui sont surpris d'apprendre que je collectionne pas tout. Hein? Ben oui, mais c'est parce que, tu sais, à un moment donné, plus de place, tu sais. Hey, qu'est-ce que tu fais là? Le chien est en train de littéralement manger le plancher. Alors, pourquoi? Je ne sais pas. Ici, bébé. Viens montrer. Ah, il a sorti son jouet. C'est correct. Ça, j'ai pas de problème avec ça. Donc, so yeah, some people are surprised to learn that I don't necessarily collect everything. And it's kind of normal because it's all of a question of, first of all, interest and, of course, question of space and money. I always like to consider my purchase as not losing too much money. What I mean by that is not a question of absolute resale. I'm sorry, I'm having issues with my. That's better. It's not a question of resale. It's more of a question of if I need to get rid of my item that I've purchased, will I lose money? And if I lose money, will I lose a lot? That's what makes this collecting thing interesting because I'm not saying that I see it as an investment, but kinda. I prefer putting my money on purchasing some collectibles. Alors bonsoir, hein? Ben oui. Ça doit être un. Oui, c'est ça, c'est André, hein? C'est ça, on m'appelle le King. Il n'y a pas beaucoup de monde aux États-Unis qui m'appelle le King. Ça serait un petit peu, là, tête enflée. Déjà qu'ici, là, c'est border, là. Mais bon, c'est pas moi qui m'a béni de même, là, tu sais. C'est vous autres, là, tu sais. Mais bon. So, I was saying that I consider always like if I have to sell it back, how much money will I lose or how much will I get my money back? Like I was saying, I prefer putting money on collectibles than putting money on actions. Not actions, I would say. Shareholders. I don't want to be a shareholder of shit fuck all. I don't trust the system. I don't trust the banks. What I trust is what I can see, what I can hold. I can hold that little Woody figure. I know that it's mine. It's there. And I can resell it for 25 cents. That I'm sure of. If I purchase some shares... Oh, we have an emergency. Welcome to Quebec. So we've just got an emergency. That's Kim. We just got an emergency saying that probably some kids... yeah, she ran away with 2 kids. What do you say? What are you going to do? I'm gonna go stop my my vintage kids. Syrup supply is leaking. Wait, I'm gonna check. No, I'm okay. Good to see you, James. Um, okay, so yeah. So like I was saying, I prefer to have to invest or put money on stuff that I can own, that are real, that I can hold in my hands. That I know that if I have to sell them back or I need money, I'll be able to turn around and not necessarily make tons of money, but I'm not going to lose much if I lose some money. So that's the reason why I don't collect everything. And like I've already told you, it's all a question also of space. Uh, Eventually, you end up having no more space in your surrounding, and it gets crazy. So yeah, as you can see behind me, and that's just a small part of it. So okay. Uh, But what I love to do is I don't, well, what I enjoy about all this is that I don't feel guilty when I purchase something because I know, first of all, that I'm happy purchasing it, and I know that I'll be able to pass it to someone else. Someone will also be interested in that thing. If you invest in shares in a company and the company goes down, even if you try to sell your shares, no one's going to purchase them. So that's the thing. I got so many people around me saying, "Why don't you invest money, man?" Yeah, I don't want to invest money in something that could crash. The worst thing could actually happen with Star Wars is that Episode 8 comes out in theaters again. That's the worst crashing we can see. But anyway, donc c'est ça, en française, là. Donc, j'investis pas dans les affaires que je peux pas tenir dans mes mains, que je peux pas me revirer de bord puis dire, ben, gars, tu quelqu'un qui veut le petit Woody? Gars, comment il est beau le petit Woody? Oh, il est beau le petit Woody? Ben, moi, je te le vends 25 cents. Puis je suis bien content parce que je l'ai acheté 25 cents, je l'ai payé 15 cents. Il va faire 10 cents dessus. Tabarouette, c'est presque un café chez Tim Hortons. Mais bon, on n'est pas ici là, pour parler d'argent, là. Hein? Je suis pas un prêteur de gage, moi, là. Alors, on va continuer dans les toy lines. Donc, we're going to continue in toy lines that we started to talk about last week. It's a Chinese thing. Um, Last week, I haven't watched last week episode. I don't rewatch the episodes, so I think I remember most of the stuff that I've shown you, and I've taken some out of this area so I don't show you again the same thing again. Again, if you have any question during this, go ahead. I'm going to explain it again for the comments, the section, comment section. Je vais encore expliquer pour le comment section. On est live sur Facebook, Yoda's Workshop page, live sur Facebook, ma page personnelle, et on est live sur YouTube. So we are live on these 3 channels. I'm going to take that fart thing out. And I'm using StreamYard right here. And I don't pay the ultimate price that they are asking me because, I mean, I don't have a company. I'm doing this for fun. So I don't understand why some comments don't show up. The comments that I see are on that StreamYard page, as you can see right here. And I see the comments there, and I don't even see your names. So I have to go check on Facebook to see who's talking. But anyway, that's what I'm able to pay for doing this. I'm not about to do a ICC con over here yet. Sorry, Michael. I'm ready to help, but not with money. Donc, c'est ça. Ça se peut que je ne vois pas vos commentaires. Don't be mad if I don't reply to all the comments that are written down. I know that some people are watching. Let me see. Some people are watching on Yoda's Workshop. Some people are watching on my personal page. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So during this, if you have comments on certain toys, or you want to talk about certain toy lines that I'm not talking about, go ahead. If I see the comment, I'll be really happy to join in the conversation. OK. And also, donc, c'est ça. Vous avez des commentaires, vous voulez parler de toy lines que je ne parle pas, vous pouvez les inscrire dans les commentaires et je vais essayer le mieux que je peux de les joindre. Hein? Ben oui. Alors, bonsoir. Hein? Qui c'est qui vient de se joindre à nous? It's Jim Arsenal, ladies and gentlemen. Jim did an amazing video this week, and he really looks like a droid. Anyway, that's another story. Okay. So, yeah. So let's move on with other stuff. Last week, we've seen a lot of vintage toys. I still have a few vintage stuff that I want to show you. But I want to show you guys also the newer stuff. Aloha! What are we talking about tonight? Oh, it's Derek Cernak. Happy to have you aboard, my friend. And Jimmy V is also in the house. That's a great people right there. What we're talking about tonight, my friend, it's right here. Various toy lines, part 2. And like I was saying last week and this week, I don't collect everything. I collect several things. I collect what I'm interested in, and also what I think that is worth collecting if I have to sell it back. If one day I need to sell them or I need money or whatever, at least I know that I'm gonna be able to get a few bucks back. And like I said, last week we've seen a lot of vintage stuff. This week we're going to see a bit of more modern, but still kind of vintage, but kind of modern, but kind of vintage, a bit like me. So, okay, let's go because we've got a lot of stuff to go through. And again, go ahead. If you have any questions, go ahead. I'm going to go into vintage stuff right away using this. That's another thing that I really, 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 really loved back in the days, the 2 Ghostbusters movies. I've watched a little of the cartoons back in 1984, but not that much. So yeah, that's another great example. I love what they did for with the toy line in the 1984 figures, and I was lucky enough to get a Ecto 1, missing a lot of pieces, but still a great Ecto 1. I don't know. I love what they did. The characters like Peter Venkman is great. Anyway, they did an amazing job. So that's another great toy line that I have to collect. I've got the Firehouse, but it's over there and it's behind tons of boxes, so I won't be able to show it to you. But what I can show you is that I have that recent version that came out also. So they did a retro version that came out a few years ago, and I was lucky enough to have to purchase one of the new version. But I didn't took it out of the box, so I have no idea. Dis bonjour. Hello. Tu dis allô? Bonjour. Tu dis bonjour? Bonjour la belle fille. She's happy. She's not vintage. Not yet. She's very, very, very modern. Okay. So that was a good example of vintage stuff. Here's something that some of you guys will be familiar with. We've seen these at the MMC. I love cards. I've talked about it last week. I love vintage cards. It's what? Don't eat it. Don't eat it. Faut pas que tu le manges. And I was lucky enough to purchase a few of these before the prices go crazy. So that's an amazing 51. They call it movie photo cards from Empire Strikes Back, and it was sold at Child World Children Palace at a low price of 97 cents. Now you're talking. These are my prices. I love these prices. But that's not the price that I paid. But hey, that's okay. Let me go back to focus if that camera can. There you go. Molly looks like Finnegan from Mr. Dress Up. Oh my God. No, you're going back, man. Okay, so that's a little card thing for you. Other stuff that I really enjoy collecting are these things, card backs. Um, again, out of focus. Come on, man. Okay, so I love these. I just love these, and I think I was lucky enough to start collecting these before some of the prices went crazy. I mean, some of these card backs sells for 50 bucks US. Donc, je pense que j'ai été chanceux. J'ai commencé vraiment à collectionner les card backs avant que les prix deviennent complètement cinglés pendant la pandémie puis toute la bébelle. Mais j'ai toujours vraiment aimé les card backs parce que j'ai considéré toujours que les card backs étaient quasiment plus rares que les figurines. I really love these things because I always said that it feels like these card backs are even harder to get than the figures. Forget about graded figures or perfect mint figures with weapons. I'm really talking about these card backs that back in the days, most of them were thrown in the garbage by our parents. As soon as we would rip that figure out, these card backs would go straight to the garbage. And back in the days, no recycling. Donc, les gens se débarrassaient de ça. Puis j'adore I love the feel of these things. These are two variants of the same figure. Again, there's variants. They're different, of course. Like I explained, I made a full episode on these, but every card back has a different back with and the number. And like I said, different variants, punch, unpunch version. Some in French, some with the offers, and anyway, with the coins, with the Boba Fett coins. And again, some people would say, okay, yeah, I collect these, but they have to be unpunched, or they have to be like in a perfect condition. To be honest with you, man, I don't care. Si elle est pas punchée, elle vaut pas plus cher. Oui, c'est yeah. My friend's asking if it's unpunched, does it worth more? Yeah, it's worth a little more because it means that that figure was not put on a peg. See, there's one unpunched. So it was not put on the store. It was taken directly from the case, or it was taken directly, I don't know, in a bin. And see, that one is also unpunched. Wally, fais pas de niaiserie là. I have to watch what she's doing because she's still at the age as if she found something on the floor, she just eats it. Ooh, that looks tasty. That's a Boba Fett. Anyway, so like I was saying, some people don't collect them because they are rough. They're not in great shape. I don't care. I mean, these are still card backs, man. They date back from 1993. I love putting them in a top. Yeah, I've got top loaders. Yeah, I've got a full, not a catalog, but a full folder of them. I just took out a few for the show. But I mean, I love these guys. I love to have these because this is as close as we can get to what it felt like to open these back in the days without opening one. See, that's a 12 back, and that's a 12A Darth Vader. But some people say, yeah, but it's been cut off. Yeah, I don't care. It's still a 12 back. These are the first Star Wars action figures that were available back in 1977. So, I mean, for me, I just love these. Okay, so of course there's Star Wars. I was talking about some of them getting really crazy prices, like the last 17s or the Star Wars Power of the Force version, or like this Han Solo in carbonite. But also, I also have a few. I don't like you guys know, I don't necessarily only collect some Star Wars stuff. Hey, qu'est-ce que t'as trouvé? Molly. Let me go check. She's eating something. Qu'est-ce que tu manges? On mange pas ça. Non, 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 non. Non, 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 on mange pas ça. Tu peux jouer avec tes jouets. Okay, sorry about that. Kind of a technical difficulty, but it's a dog difficulty. So yeah, they're still cool, even if they're not in perfect condition. Not Woody, no. I don't know, she found a piece of plastic on the floor, and there's so many stuff on the floor. When I make the vintage kids and I take out items, I put everything around me so I can grab them very quickly. So I love it when Phil talks to the dog in French, and I'm always like, the dog speak French? Yeah. She also talks in English. Hey, no. Arrête. Arrête. She's trying to get something under the desk, and I have no idea what she's trying to do. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I also love to collect the G.I. Joe's card back. Some people say, G.I. Joe's not fun, or you're not collecting G.I. Joe's. Yeah, well, yeah. But hey, I got some great card backs from 1986, from 1987, from 1985. Anyway, still, these are great items. Again, the work that was made just to create these is amazing. There you go. I don't know if you guys can see this, but man, these were great. They are great. Anyway, so collect all kinds of card back. Even if the figure's not there, I love to collect these things. Okay, so that's for the card backs. What else do we have? I'm going to give her a bone. Again, I always have to taste it. I'm going to keep that one. No, I'm kidding. There you go. Va-t'en manger là. Bye-bye. Okay, she's off. I was talking about last week also the stickers. Now, Kristen Lee, if you're watching, I'm sorry to show you this, but this is a 5 paquet de 5 album stickers of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I just love these. They're still sealed in the package. I just love these things. I don't know how old they are. They're from 1989. 1989. Ça date de 1989. Moi, c'est ce genre d'affaires que je trouve cool. Parce que c'est pareil comme quand on allait au dépanneur. Moi, j'aimais ça aller au dépanneur. Let's talk about this for a second. When I was a kid, back in the old days, you know, when horses were still running around, man, and there were no electricity. Dave's not here, man. No, I'm kidding. One of the highlights of our lives back in the days, les albums Panini. Ah oui, je n'ai montré un la semaine passée. I've shown a Panini album of hockey. Yeah, OPG hockey album. Back in the days, the highlight of our weeks, ce qui me rendait vraiment comme heureux dans notre vie là, en tant que TQ, c'était d'aller au dépanneur. It would be to go to the, how do you say dépanneur in French? In English. The store when you can get like your hockey cards, your stickers, your candies. We call it a dépanneur. Say it all together. Convenience store. Thank you very much. But say it in French. Try it. Un dépanneur. Anyway, on s'en allait au dépanneur. We would go to the convenience store. And our mother or father or whatever, or we would steal money from someone. No, I would never do that. And we would have like $1 or 50 cents or whatever. And we would go there and purchase some stuff just for us. It was like our dollar store back in the days. It was our Walmart. But it was a convenience store because there was nothing else around. There was like Zellers or Sears, but it was very far, and you couldn't go walking. In French, rough. See, the dog has been teaching me. Yeah, you're doing great, man. You're doing great. I'm gonna take some notes right here. You're doing great. Derek, I think you should do some how do you say it? Teaching videos. Le woof. Yeah, it's le woof. You're totally right. It's a woof woof. Jappy, jappy, japping. Can I get a treat now? Yes, man. I'm gonna send you one with a special T-shirt. Hmm. Anyway, back to what I was saying. um, we would go at the convenience store, au dépanneur, and we would purchase something like this, and we would go crazy. It's like, oh, they received like a 5 Teenage Mutant Ninja. I was not collecting Teenage Mutant, but more hockey or Star Wars stuff. See, you're saying all kinds of French. Man, you're ready to come to Montreal tomorrow. And, in Montreal, we don't. When I go to Montreal, which is pretty rare because I'm not in Montreal, I'm more on the north side of Montreal, of the island. And you don't necessarily hear French people a lot nowadays. I mean, it's like 90% English now, or Spanish, or whatever. But French is going away slowly, and it's part of the reality, and that's okay. I mean, that's how it is. Anyway, same thing for Louisiana. Louisiana. Eventually, will become the next Louisiana. Well, we were the Louisiana people. Bâton rouge. Everyone knows what bâton rouge is. It's a red stick. But over here, bâton rouge is a restaurant with great food. This episode of The Vintage Kid is brought to you by Bâton Rouge. Now I'm going to get sued. Okay. So anyway, so it was fun to go to the convenience store back in the days. It was really the highlights of our week. So let's move on with more stuff because I see time flying by. Okay, other things that I love to collect. Like I said, I've showed you some vintage. I still have some vintage stuff. Here's a good example. Here is a vintage Las Vegas. You crank that thing up. Let me take it out of the bag. Oh, no, it's steel. Anyway, you would turn that thing and a little wall would show up and you put it on and everything would shake and you get numbers and whatever. These were the toys that we used to play with. I've got a good story very quickly on this. I've got one of my friends. One of my friends got 2 girls. Un de mes amis, Alain Richer. On ne dira pas, mais bon, c'est Alain Richer. Et Alain, il y a 2 filles. And one year at Christmas, he bought this toy that we used to play with. You put a ball on a wooden platform, and the platform would go all kinds of direction, holding them with 2 wheels and trying to make the maze with the ball. And you would have to make it fall at the end of the maze, okay? Donc c'était comme, je sais plus comment ça s'appelait, mais bon, on avait ça au Québec, tout le monde avait ça. Tout le monde avait un chez eux. Là, il en a trouvé un, il en a acheté un autre pour ses filles. He bought another one because it was vintage and he thought perhaps the kids would love it to play with. And the girls opened the present and they take that thing out of the box and what the hell is this? It's a toy. And one of the girls said, "It's not a toy. It doesn't need any batteries." For me, that made my year. I mean, oh yeah. Nowadays, if you really want to play with a real toy, you have to put batteries in it. Anyway, so that's another thing. Okay, I talked about the pops and these things. For me, I don't collect them a lot. I have a few of them. I've got this one because he actually looks like me. Someone sent this to me and said, "Look, Phil, they made a pop out of you." And I said, "Jesus, they didn't ask me about that." So I purchased one just to keep this one that looks like me, but it's Keanu Reeves, but I don't look like Keanu Reeves, but I look like that pop. Anyway, so the story behind the pops, why I don't really collect them. Well, I've got a few, but the ones that I've got that I keep, I got this one. That's the Yoda's Workshop guy. So I think I purchased that one in Quebec City when last year. I went to a store and there it was. There it was. I said, "Oh my God, that's Yoda's Workshop from Yoda's Workshop." So I purchased it. But anyway, see, I've got also this one. My girlfriend Audrey found me that one. Anyway, so these are pretty harder to find. So back to the pops. I don't really collect them because, first of all, they take a lot of space. And they sell for pretty high prices when you purchase them at the regular store, unless you purchase them in real good sales. Fait que je collectionne pas vraiment les pots, ça prend trop de place. Les prix, je trouve, c'est trop élevé. And I might be wrong, but I really feel like, and I've said that before, I'm going to say it again, I think that the pops are going to be like the Beanie Bennies. Do you guys remember the Beanie Bennies? Like all the variant dogs that you would purchase, and in each dog, tiny babies. Yeah, that's probably the right word. I thought it was Beanie Bennies. Hey, haute ta face de là. She's something tonight. Viens coucher ici là. Viens, couche-toi. Couche. Couche-toi là, prends une pause là. Hein? Ben oui, parce que là, on va passer tout droit là. Beanie Babies, Beanie Bennies, Beanie Babies. You know what I mean. People are going nuts about these. And one day, like, yeah, les pluches, ou les pet shops. I don't know if they're pet shops, or, mais les Beanie Bennies, là, ça dans les années 90. Le monde, il capotait, là, puis là, il disait que ça allait valoir des millions, là, puis ça les prend toutes, là. C'était un peu les Pokémon en minou, là, tu sais. And what happened with these? Everyone lost interest, and nowadays perhaps there's a few of them that are worth a lot of money, but most of them are pretty selling for. You have to pay someone to purchase them from you, and I'm afraid that that's what's going to happen with the pops, and I think Funko probably understood that, and that's why they started to do more kinds of toys, different things like reaction figures and stuff. Anyway. Okay, on continue dans les autres items. Let's move on because there's tons of stuff I want to show you. What I also love to collect are bigger items. And you're going to say, yeah, Phil, you're saying that it takes too much space. Yeah, but some of the items that when you get a good deal and you love the figure and you love the statue, you jump on it. And that's a good example. That's a Select, Diamond Select Iron Man. I have no idea what's the collection exactly, but you guys can see there's like a Hulk and a Captain America also available from that toy line. Anyway, I love the packaging. I love the little statue figure. It's like a 12-inch figure, and it looks great. It looks great. And again, now we can go into like, do you purchase your item to keep it in box, or you purchase to open it? Personally, and that's just me. Again, I'm not saying that I'm doing the right thing. That's like my personal, my more personal likeness. Donc c'est plus que ce que moi j'aime. Mais je les laisse dans la boîte because I love, like I said, I've talked about the card backs. I love the designs. I love the work that is behind all the designs from these boxes. Here's a good example again. Batman. That's the toy line that came out. They call it Classic TV Series, and it's from McFarlane. They did the complete set with the figures and the Batmobile, and that's the Bat Cave. I have a few figures. I have a few items, but this is more modern, but I love what they actually... I love that they're trying to reinvent vintage stuff. I don't know if I'm saying this correctly. I'm not a big fan of reproducing the same figure. Like the retro collection from Star Wars, it's okay. But again, they're trying to make money from the same item. I love the fact that they are doing stuff like the Batman series or what McFarlane does with like the retro feel. Because it feels like these figures never existed back in the days. And if they would have existed, I would have purchased these things and I would have played with these things, the crap out of them. So yeah, Batman. For me, Batman is my favorite superhero, and it's not a question of movies. It's really a question of, I don't know. I really, really always love Batman. That's my personal opinion, and I stand by it, man. And if you're not happy about it, let's go to Baton Rouge and we'll eat a huge steak. Okay. Other stuff that I also love to collect. We were talking about last week the G.I. Joe vintage stuff, but I also enjoy what they are doing with the new version. That's from the Snake Eyes movie. That the Snake Eyes movie didn't really work well, but I've watched it and I thought it was okay. Um, Again, it this is really the Black Series feel. They are actually doing with other toy lines, and I think they're doing a great job. Look at that figure. That girl looks hot, man. I think they're doing a great job. Other stuff. Everything's falling apart. This is a very well-known toy line. This is the Legend from Marvel. Marvel Legends series. Again, this is exactly feels really like the Black Series from Star Wars. I would have to check. I don't know if Black Series came up first or this series came out first. I would have to check the date, but some of these figures are great. And I love the details. I think they're doing an amazing job. I don't really necessarily enjoy the fact that you have to purchase like all the wave. Elle a même son toy dans son emballage. Ouais. Imagine les affaires qu'elle fait avec cette affaire-là. Petite cochonne. Tu sais, c'est comme une main avec plein de. Tu sais, c'est comme invite your friends. That's so wrong. But I would watch. Invite me. I'm just going to sit down there. I'm going to watch you girls. If something goes wrong, I'm right here. I finally got the. Oh, yeah. It was the only one I. See, again, so that's the thing. You can actually like create a great figure. Like they call it build a figure. That's the Kree Century. But again, if you don't really care about the figure that the piece that you need, you'll have to purchase that figure from someone else. And so I don't know, if I buy something, I don't necessarily want a piece of something that I don't want. Anyway, that's again my personal opinion. So all kinds of Marvel stuff I also love, even if they are not as great quality, they could be pretty cool. I love the designs. And these figures don't sell for like $50. You can get them for $20 or $10 Canadian. So that's like US pocket change. Let me get back to focus. There you go. Okay. Let's continue. Ding! Just received a message. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I've talked about this in the past, and I still want. Silly when it was a character. You put a package. Yeah, exactly. Lizard Man. They did Lizard Man. They did the Hulk. I've got several of the Marvel Legends figures that comes with a huge Hulk wearing like a hat and a coat and stuff. And it's like, okay, it's a good idea, but I would, that's a great Hulk figure. I would love to have this one, but you have to purchase every other figures, and sometimes you don't really care about most of the waves that is coming out. Okay, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I've talked about this in the past. And Kristen, if you're listening, I really, really want to make a special episode just talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I want you to be our special guest. I didn't watch the Turtles. I was too old. Like I've already said, the last toy line that I really I watched on TV was the Transformers. And it's basically the last toy line that I really collect or enjoyed as a kid. Because back after that, girls came into my life. Ooh la la. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I love the universe. I've watched all the movies. I didn't watch all the cartoons animation series, but I've watched every episodes and every movies that came out. I love the idea. I love the universe. I love what they did with this. So I always watch the new figures that comes out, and when I'm able to get one, I purchase one at a good price. And I know that these can sell well. So, and since there's 4 of these guys, there's always 4 different version in every wave. So there's always someone missing the Donatello or the whatever. So I know that I'll be able to sell it one day if I have to. Okay, other toy line. And this is a toy line that I really enjoy, not necessarily as toys, but as a game. I'm not a huge gamer, but this is probably the modern game, because I spend hours and hours playing Nintendo and playing Super Nintendo and playing Atari and television and whatever back in the days. But I've played tons of hours at Halo 3 online when the Xbox came out. I purchased the Xbox especially for that game. I played hundreds, thousands of hours, sometime all night long online, and it was amazing. I'm telling you, I freaked out. It didn't make me more of a gamer, because I don't necessarily love to spend hours of time doing like the story, but the aspect of playing with someone else and hearing them and stuff, I really, really freaked out about this. So Halo, I really enjoyed Halo. I started watching the TV series, the first season. I watched a few episodes. I have to continue. I'm really late on these, but anyway, they really did an amazing job. And it's McFarlane Toys, and I've talked about them earlier. I really think that they are a great company that takes the time to create some great toys, and that's an amazing example of this. I don't know. I know the camera's not doing a great job, but these figures looks amazing. And again, these box are great. I prefer to have that box on display than having just the figure out of the box and put it on the shelf. Again, that's me. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. I'm not saying it's the best thing to do, but love to do these. Okay, let's continue. More things. Also, what I love, that's probably one of my favorite, I would say, toy line, because this is not considered to be a toy, but the busts. The Gentle Giants busts, for me, they look amazing. And I know that if these were available back when I was a kid, I would have probably sold my soul. And I would have mowed thousands of lawn to be able to purchase some of these. That's just one example. Of course, this is Lando Calrissian in Skiff Guard disguise. But the quality of these are amazing. And I love the fact that they are limited. Every one of these are numbered. For me, that's a real piece of collection. And these, the boxes are great, but these all in displayed. I've got some friends that got hundreds, not hundreds, but tens and lots of them on display, and they look great. So that's another thing that I've got a lot. Oh, way too much. But I love these. That's another good example. Uh, I've showed you this one last week very quickly, but again, I love these things. This is a Nerf gun. I love the customs. Some people do all the custom stuff for their cosplay. That's a great example. I love these things. When when you take the time and you do a great job, I did this one. That's me. I put all the wear on it, some paint, and I painted most of the orange that was visible. So now it looks pew pew. Yeah, it really looks like a cosplay gun. So if you're wearing, I could put this right on Kirk right here. And well, it's not the right gun because that's a first order gun, but you know what I mean. So someone wearing a first order gun at a convention could use this as a replica. Looks great. Love these things. I love all the custom stuff. I love the fact that some people take the time to work on their costume, to work on their on things like that. They purchase stuff and they make them better. My stormtrooper back over there, ça donne rien si tu lui donnes, il sait pas. That's a fact, Jack. Yeah, Andre's saying that it doesn't matter if you give it to him because he won't be able to shoot right with it. Again, that's another great example. I've showed you last week my life-size Emperor right here. Hello in TV land. I love these things. Everything that is 1-1, I just go nuts. I've got a C-3PO right there. And of course I've got Kirk. And Kirk behind me is not a official Lucasfilm item. This is actually a 501st handmade costume by a 501st member. And he was not using it anymore, so he purchased a mannequin and he put the suit on it, and there it is. It looks great. It's a life-size stormtrooper in my office. So, I mean, woohoo! I'm a happy man. Okay, more stuff. We were talking about The Simpsons last week. I'm a huge Simpson fan, but okay, I cannot say that I'm a huge Simpson fan anymore because I haven't watched the last 15 seasons, but back in the days when they came out in 1989, all the way for the first 15 seasons around, I've known all the episodes. I've watched them several times. Anyway, that's another great example. We were talking about bust. I love these things. So this is a Marge Simpson Polystone bust. Again, it's numbered. The box looks amazing. They did an amazing job. And for me, these are great collectibles. They display well. And once they're numbered, and you only have several edition of it, not edition, but example of it, it makes them even more fun to collect. Okay. And of course, I was talking about reselling stuff. I'm not going to say it's necessarily better when they are numbered, but what I mean about that is that when it's numbered and it's limited, it will be even easier to sell if you need to sell it back. Okay, next up. I also love these. I've already talked about these. This is the Sideshow how do you say it? Sideshow Collectibles. 12-inch figures. They did an amazing line of these back in the days. I don't think they're doing them anymore. This is Mace Windu. This is the exclusive one. Question encore. Si c'est un différent, tu as le 1 de 100 ou pas grave sur le 58 de 100? That's a good question, man. It's a very good question because it's not only in what my friend is asking in French is, does it make it more valuable or more interesting for a collector if you have number 1 of 10 or 100, whatever, or number 100 of 100? The answer is yes. So the answer is yes. If you are able to have a first of whatever or a last of whatever, it will make the item a little more valuable for the collector. So you'll be able to have a better price. So yes, that's a good question. And it's the same thing with hockey cards. When you get a hockey card that it's numbered, and if you have it like number one of whatever or number last 100 of 100, people are going to try to get them even more. So, okay, back to these guys. I really, really love these guys. The quality, the details, the texture, the clothing, the accessories, everything looks amazing. And of course, you could always have the exclusive version or the player jersey number. Oh, yeah, that's a very good example. That's a great example. Let's say you have got a Carey Price and you've got number 31 of 100, of course, people are going to jump on these. That's a very, very good thing to say. Jim, you're totally right. Okay, so I love these. I've got a lot of these things. Way too much. But I love these guys. They look amazing. Okay, of course, we have to talk about very quickly. Everyone knows these. The Vintage Collection series, I just love these because it really, really, really bring us back to the same feel of the Star Wars universe vintage stuff. No wonder they call it the Vintage Collection. But anyway, I love the Vintage Collection. I love the Black Series. Time is really going fast. Perhaps we'll be a little longer tonight. Got so much stuff to show you guys again. Okay. Other great toy lines that are not necessarily... Well, I've talked about these. I love the toy lines when they are from the movies or from a different TV show. And this is a great example. This is the Rocky 3, Rocky Balboa. It's a great figure. That's NECA. And I've talked about NECA in the past. Love this company. They're doing an amazing job on quality. And that's a great example. So that's the version, the gold version with the gloves and stuff. Anyway, great action figure for Rocky fans. Of course, if you're not a Rocky fan, you don't really care about this. On va bust. Je suis pas fatigué, mais... OK. Je te le dis, le garde des affaires secrètes pour nous. OK. Other things, and I was talking about Rocky. There you go. I've shown you this guy last week. Better Call Saul. This is Saul Goodman. I mean, I'm nuts about Breaking Bad. I just love Better Call Saul. And I was lucky enough to find a Better Call Saul action figure. I also have the Chicken Man. I've got Gus Fring. Love these things. Okay. Let's continue. When I was a kid, something that I really, I've talked about this last week. This is actually my own vintage personal Goldorak puzzle. So I have several of these, and my mother found them when they moved out from our first house when I was a kid, and she gave them back to me. So I've got some Albator, I've got some Goldorak. I don't remember which one it is. On veut faire un jeu fin 2023. Un jeu? Qu'est-ce que tu dis, man, un jeu? Je comprends pas ce que tu veux dire. Moi, j'aime des jeux, j'aime ça, n'importe quoi, n'importe quoi. Fait que, yeah, those are great puzzles. I wanted to show you this because this is actually my puzzle when I was a kid. Again, I was talking about the vintage collection. I was talking about the figures that are more... le jeu vidéo. Le jeu vidéo. Ils vont faire. OK, oui. Hey, man, ça serait vraiment cool. Moi, je veux qu'ils fassent un film. Mais tu sais, un film qui ressemble à l'émission dans le temps. Ça serait cool. I love when these came out. I love the fact that they started with Vader and then the second one was Boba Fett. But now they're doing every figures. Eventually, they'll even do like the Red Snag. So I mean, it's a good idea for a first or second, maybe third action figure, like the most popular, but please stop. Stop doing these. They call it the prototype edition. Well, what's the point of the prototype edition if it's just several colors, legs, and stuff? I love the first idea. I love the Vaders. I love the Boba Fett's. And I've got several Chewbacca's. But come on, please stop. I mean, please don't do the whole line of figures like this. That's enough. It was a good idea. Now it's enough. Okay. That's something that I collect. But I haven't purchased the last one. The X-Wing pilot Luke. No, thank you. I'll pass. Okay. What else is in there? I've talked about these also in the past. This is from my one of my favorite shows back in the days. This is actually Puncharello from Chips. Love the card back. These were made by Mecho Corp. And you could get Sarge, Punch, and John. And I mean, I just love these with the little helmet and the little gun. Great figures. So that's another good example of the things that I love to collect from TV series back in the days. Of course, I'm not going to go through very quickly. Of course, I collect. And these are my favorite things, I would say. The Minton cards, graded, and people are like, man, it's only a 70. Yeah, I don't care. I'm happy with this. I've got a graded Lando Calrissian. Les motos, man, c'est parce qu'ils vendaient les motos à part. Puis t'avais même des bonhommes plus gros. Moi, j'avais les 12 pouces. I used to have the 12 inches from Puncharello. Anyway, so love these things. I mean, this guy is mint in box. The gun is still there. It's graded. Of course, not in perfect condition. It's a 70. It's on punch. But, man, I love these things. Same thing. I've talked about this also. I love modern graded stuff. And I also really enjoy when they are actually Comic-Con exclusive. So that's another great example. It's not only like a modern Star Wars thing, it's a limited edition that was only available at the Comic-Con in 2006. 501st. Looks great. Anyway, so I've talked about the custom stuff. I love the custom stuff. And here's a very good example that this is one of my favorite ones. So get ready. This is one of our friends from in Mexico that actually do these things with 3D prints. They're called Twin Suns. And they always do an amazing job. I have several of these figures, but this one was made especially for one of my friend. Was it Pete Artwell or... I think it was for Pete Artwell, or it was for... Peter Sharp. I don't remember. I'm sorry, guys. And this is actually the figure from that special card with C-3PO with the boner. And you know what? They did it. They did the action figure with the boner. See? Have you ever seen C-3PO like this? It's a goldenrod. A real goldenrod. So I love these because they were made. There are only 15 in the world that was ever created with that card back. It's our friend from the Sarlacc pit, which I am an admin on the group. Anyway, love these like little holograms. Amazing job. I love these things. Okay, let me show you more. I'm going to show you some weird items because let's take a few minutes to. We're going to bust our time, but I really want to do this and show you guys some weird items. I've talked about The Simpsons. I love these. This is Playmate the version of the figures that are talking. Love these things. This is actually a beer short offer. Anyway, they could add. You could put them on a display, and they would talk. I love these guys. Simpsons, like I said, huge fan of the Simpsons. I've talked about these. I've talked about this. Okay, I'm going to show you a statue. I've talked about bust, but I also really like the Gentle Giant. Oop. I really like the Gentle Giant statues, and this is a great example. This is from Gentle Giant, and it's a Diamond Select Toys. They are amazing. The quality of these things, the Premier Collection, they are not Hot Toys. And personally, I don't have the money to purchase some Hot Toys. So I really love to purchase these. They are at least half the price from the Hot Toys waves and other stuff. And still, they are limited editions. This is from, there's only 3,000 of these guys. 501st. See, we're talking about numbers. I just saw that this is actually a 501st of 3,000. Look at this guy. This guy looks amazing. Displays very well, and the box is amazing. So I love these statues. We were talking about, I'm going a bit quicker because I really want to go through what's left. And there's a lot of things that I'm not going to show you today. But I don't want to do a part 3. So here's another great example. I love these cars. I love the, I don't know if I've talked about this last week. I love the Hot Wheels. I love the Batman Hot Wheels. I love all the movies related Hot Wheels. And an amazing company that I didn't know existed is Jeda. G-A-D-A. They do an amazing car series. This is Knight Rider, one of my favorite car of all time. They do all like 124, 164. No, they don't do 164. Oh yeah, I think they do. 133. Yeah, this is Kit, man. Yeah. Favorite car of all time. And I've talked about this in the past, but the company, GM, the big GM company was right here at a few minutes from where I'm living right now. So every car came out. So there were tons of kits driving around back in the days over here because they came out from 5 minutes from here. So I've seen so many of these when I was a kid. Anyway, so love these things. Recently, I was able to get this. So again, from a TV series, this is also Diamond Select, but this is not a Diamond Select vintage collection. Cobra Kai. I haven't watched the TV series yet, but they did some great action figures. Daniel-san. So you can see Daniel-san's right here. There's no chopstick, but yeah, Daniel-san. So anyway, another great example. And I want to end with a few great and rarer stuff. Like this one. This, I love the replicas. I love the replicas. I love the, also the, I'm going to show you right here. I love these. I don't know if you guys can see. I have several lightsabers. So I love the lightsabers. I love the replicas when they are well made. And this one I've purchased directly from Disney. I think I purchased it in Florida, but they sent it to me by mail. And this is the ice cream maker from Empire Strikes Back. But they used it again in Mandalorian. And this thing actually works. And it's not that expensive. So if you love the real life-size stuff and the replicas, just to give you an idea, you push 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it turns green. You turn this, and boom, it opens just like in, and there's a light in there. I haven't seen, there's a light in there. Just like in The Mandalorian. I love the details on these. I think they did an amazing job. I've purchased one last year, not like this. I've purchased actually an original ice cream maker because I wanted to make one, customize one. But now there's this one and it looks amazing. So I've purchased this one instead. Another great items that I collect, and it's not because I really have a huge interest in them, it's because I managed to get a great deal. These things are amazing. I love these things. These are actual certificate of authenticity serial cell. So this is a series cell. They call it a series cell, issued in 1986, created by Warner Brothers. This is a Tasmanian divot. It's signed and it's numbered. So this is what they actually use to make the comics, and it's framed, and there's a certificate of authenticity. This is amazing. I love these things, and they sell for crazy prices. I think I have 5 or 6 of these. So anyway, so that's it. I've got other stuff, but it's getting late, and I'm going to show you this, and I've already showed you guys some of these, but I love these. These are the watches, Invicta watches. What an amazing job that they are doing it, Invicta. Great quality watches, limited editions, great prices too. You can purchase some when you're lucky enough to get them when they are they're great deals on their website. Anyway, so okay, 2 things. I've talked about Woody because I've got a fixation. I've got a personal collection of Toy Story stuff. I really love Toy Story, man. I went nuts when I saw the first movie, and I still collect. I've got most of every figures from all the 3 first movie. The 4th one, was the 4th one the last one or the 5th one? I don't remember. Anyway, love Toy Story. And the reason why I wanted to do this, and the reason why I did a special 2 episodes on toy lines, and I explained it last week, but I am going to explain it again very quickly, is that I want to make a sale. Like I'm going to make weekly sales on Yoda's workshop, and I'm going to offer you guys some of the items that I've got in my collection, and I'm going to try to offer you good prices. Again, perhaps you're going to say, Phil, they're much lower at this place. The important thing for me is that I don't lose money. That's it. So I'm going to try to offer you guys good prices on several items like this, like I've shown you. So if I'm going to put up not tons of stuff weekly, I'm going to put like 10 or 20 items a week. And I think I'm going to start tomorrow. So every week on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, on every Wednesday, I'm going to put up a sale on Yoda's workshop, which is going to be a new weekly thing. And I'll be able to ship in the US, I'll be able to ship in Canada, and you'll be able to come and pick it up if you're living near me. To save on shipping, you're going to pay exact shipping. I ship with Canada Post with tracking numbers. I don't make any money on shipping prices, so I'm always going to try to do my best to give you the best deals that I can. And that's going to also give me the opportunity to show you guys more stuff that only Star Wars. I always put up my mail calls on Yoda's workshop so you guys can see what comes in. But I don't necessarily put them up for sale or not right away. Or they're on Marketplace, and some people in the US, they just don't see what I sell on Marketplace. So, but on Yoda's workshop, I'm going to do this. I'm going to try to find a good name for the sale. And I'm going to put up 10 to 20 items a week. And the sale is going to be open for a week long, and just have to claim the items under the picture. So that's it, guys. Molly's asking to go out. Molly, ici. Molly. Qu'est-ce que tu veux là? Elle va aller dehors. She wants to go out. So again, Guys, thank you very much for joining me. I know I'm not. This is not Star Wars. V'là ton nom. Distribution au Yoda's Workshop. Est-ce que c'est bon, man? Ça serait bon, mais aux États-Unis, ils comprendront rien. Distribution au Yoda's Workshop. Est-ce que c'est bon, ça? Mm-hmm. Je pourrais le mettre en français, par exemple. J'aime bien ça. Il faudrait que j'essaie de revoir le logo, qu'est-ce qu'il avait l'air, puis en faire un comme plus Yoda's Workshop. Anyway. So again, thank you very much for joining me tonight. Thank you very much for watching if you're watching and it's not live. Again, as usual, I'm not here for the numbers. I'm not here for the money. I'm here for the fun and spending time with you guys and talk about our passions. So thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to keep on doing this as long as I'm having fun. And trust me, I'm able to have fun alone. But there's no video of it. So, yeah. So, have a great week. Check for tomorrow. I'm going to put up the first sale on Yoda's Workshop. Again, I'm not going to use Vintage Kids to sell stuff. That's not my point. I did this just because it gave me a good idea and give good chance to show you guys the toy lines that I collect. But Vintage Kids isn't. I'm not gonna sell you stuff over here. It's always going to be on Yoda's Workshop, and eventually I'll be doing more live sales on Yoda's Workshop. So claim sales and live sales. If you guys are interested, just let me know. I'll be happy to. I've got tons of vintage Star Wars that I need to sell. I got to make some room. I've got several sideshows. I've got tons of stuff. But it's not going to be on the Vintage Kids. So, all right. Yeah, I hope to see you all on the NMC. As usual, be safe, be good, be wild, be you. Kiss your wives for me. Don't tell Audrey or Kirk. And everyone will be happy. Have fun. Not too much, but a lot. And see you next week. Donc, merci d'avoir été là. On se revoit la semaine prochaine. Si vous avez des questions, des commentaires, vous pouvez toujours m'écrire. Ça va faire plaisir de vous répondre. If you have any questions or comments, you have comments, go ahead. You can write me. I'll always do my best to reply to you guys as soon as possible. Invite your friends. Like I said, I don't care about numbers, but if you have friends that think that they'll enjoy the Vintage Kids, invite them. I'm not going to run after your friends. I don't know them. All right. Have a great week. Bye, everyone.